Hi, my name's Greta Lumsden, and this is my application for the Czech Cultural Connections, Collections, and Reflections program. I taught high school mathematics for 22 years. This year I have actually stepped out of the mathematics classroom and I am teaching the grad point credit recovery classes. I chose to do this because I'm working on my postmaster certificate in educational leadership, and as I teach full-time this year, I'm also doing my admin internship. My plans for next year are a little up in the air. I plan to either apply for an assistant principal job or a position in curriculum support in a school, or to go back into the mathematics classroom. And I'm really toying with the idea of possibly moving to middle school so that I can broaden my work experience a little bit. If I decide to become an assistant principal or work in curriculum support, I feel like this program could benefit me because I could use this knowledge to help other teachers learn how to build in a multicultural perspective into their lessons and classrooms, and possibly start a program where we have some collaboration among different cultures and build some projects, some multicultural projects for teachers at my school. If I rejoin the mathematics classroom, I believe that this could also help me because it would help me develop lessons, performance tasks, and projects that have a multicultural basis or foundation. And I also think it would be really cool to be able to plan a collaborative project with a different culture to help my students understand that the world is a big place and that there are other cultures that they need to experience and learn about. I do have a master's degree in instructional technology, so I've always been curious about bringing technology into the mathematics classroom and finding things that will help my students discover and understand the mathematics that we're learning. I also believe that with the new mathematical practice standards, that reading and writing in mathematics is something that's very important. Students need to be able to read mathematical texts with understanding. They also have to be able to write and speak in mathematical language to explain their reasoning and their thinking and their solutions for problems. And it's become common practice to bring the literacy piece into the mathematics classroom over the past few years. If I'm not in the classroom in the next year, I will use what I've learned to help other teachers in my building, in my school, to share ideas for incorporating multiliteracies in their classrooms. I've been fortunate to be able to travel quite a bit through the United States and the Caribbean. Most of my travel has been in the US, East Coast, but I've also traveled to California, Montana, Wyoming, and Texas, and Minnesota, as well as a few places in the Caribbean, and I have traveled to Europe one time. I went to Ireland for a week. One trip that stood out to me was when I went to Nashville with my daughter's 7th grade class, and when we were on the bus on the way there and we were driving through the mountains, one girl on the bus was just amazed at how beautiful the mountains were, and she told me she'd never seen mountains before, and that really grounded me and let me know that my students don't always have the same opportunities and experiences that I do. So I use this to help me ask students questions, and I love to talk to them about their experiences and their cultural backgrounds. I think this trip would help me to understand even a different culture. I'm a huge proponent of culturally responsive teaching in the classroom, and I believe that this opportunity could help me as a teacher be more culturally aware of my students, and I could use this awareness to create a classroom or school climate that embraces and empowers different cultures. Thank you for considering me.